Check out the new addition to the shop. Bridgeport milling machine. What's going on, everybody? My name is Bill. It's GrindByDesign. I'm looking at my new Bridgeport mill. New. It's a 1973. It's a Bridgeport 2J variable speed with a 1.5 horsepower motor. I got it from an older guy. He said he worked as an instructor at a community college up in New York City. And this was one of theirs originally. He said it was in a side room. It wasn't even in their main shop. It was barely used in this other room. And then when they needed the space in that room, he bought it from him and took it home. He's had it in just his home garage, just using it as like a hobby essentially. He moved it down close to where I'm at in North Carolina in I think 2006 he said. And yeah, he said it's barely been used all his life. I mean, I will say, cosmetically, it's pretty rough. I mean, it's got quite a bit of like cracking and stuff in the paint there, and then like rust underneath it, pretty much. But I think mechanically, it's in pretty good shape. I mean, in my opinion, I would say it needs cleaned really good. I really need to probably tear a lot of it down and thoroughly clean it and re-oil it. But like a lot of these machine surfaces and scraped surfaces, they look almost new. I mean, especially like the chromed ways right here, and the other ones that aren't chromed, they have little surface rust on them, but the actual scraped areas, I mean, they look like almost untouched, like they barely got any wear to them. Same with the screw there and the tabletop surface itself. So I mean, I think it's kind of a good like diamond in the rough type machine. I'm not real familiar with them other than what I've seen online, so I mean, kind of take that for what you will, but I think it should be a decent machine for me. I think first I'm probably just gonna kind of do what's necessary to get it running, like power obviously, and a little bit of cleanup. I'd really like to kind of disassemble the knee, probably most of it, take it all apart and clean it really good, and probably replace all the wipers and just make sure everything's oiled really good. I've got like the set of the oils, I guess, that are like normally used with this. It's like four, I think 3 different oils and some little like tube of grease or something, and they're all for certain parts or whatever. And a little backstory, I mean, I don't have any machining experience personally. I've just kind of had an interest in it for, I'd say, the last 5 years anyway, and just been kind of watching stuff online and just had a general interest in it. And then like the last couple years, maybe 2 years or so, I've kind of kept my eye out online, checking Craigslist and eBay once in a while to see if anything would come up that's a reasonable distance, a reasonable price, and reasonable condition. And I saw a couple of them, but it just never worked out. I think I made a couple calls, but the machines were either too rough, or I felt like the people wanted just a little bit too much for what they were trying to sell. And so I never obviously got anything before. And then this one came up the other day, and called the guy and kind of asked him all about it, and he told me the whole backstory and everything, and I went and looked at it and had him run it and everything seems to work. He had a bunch of different tooling to go with it that I'll over here show you, and there's a couple other accessories, but he was a real nice, like, older guy. I think he was like his mid-70s, obviously retired and downsizing. That was his deal. He had a couple other big machines he was really trying to get rid of. He was really trying to push me into. It was a nice lathe he had. I think it was a South Bend lathe, a small one, it was probably a medium-sized one. But I don't really have the space for it here. I'd love to have a lathe, but yeah, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. But I ended up getting this from him for, I think I got a decent deal on it, given some of the accessories and kind of the condition of the mechanical part. But he fully agreed with me. Cosmetically, it was rough. I mean, it could use like a refurbish or refresh, whatever you want to call it. But so that's about it. So this machine's actually got these, what they call, I think Bridgeport optics is what they call them. I wasn't really familiar with them until seeing it and doing research. The guy I got it from said he kind of roughly knew what they were and was telling me, but he said he had never even tried to use them. The bulbs, it's got light bulbs in it that are actually burnt out right now, but so you can't really see them. But supposedly what it is, it's kind of like the original digital readout, if you will. I mean, flip these over, they got, when there's lights in there, it would light up. And I think what it actually does, it magnifies up under here. There's this this strip right here that's got a bunch of tiny, like real tiny little dashes and measurement lines going all the way up the length of it. And I think this kind of magnifies them so you can see it, see the actual readout of where the table position is. I don't intend on getting them back to working. I probably will just take them off, if I had to guess. I mean, I think for me it's going to be I'm most likely just going to set up a digital readout at some point. But I thought that was kind of cool though. I mean, it's an original Bridgeport accessory, and this one apparently was set up with it from the start. So it came with a power feed already on this x-axis. I got it under power. It's just a 110 outlet there. But yeah, so I think this was the only thing he told me he had rebuilt. He said that there was an issue in it and had somebody rebuild it, but it's obviously working pretty good now. Couple extra things mounted over on this side and in the back there. You got this is the box that actually goes to those optics up in the front. Obviously, if I end up taking those off, this will come off. This actually runs the power feed here, so that'll stay obviously. But this and the one on the back, the guy told me they were on there because it was in a school. They had to have like extra like shut off, I guess, for the power, just for safety. And I'm gonna pull those both off because they're set up for 3-phase, and I'm gonna most likely run a variable frequency drive to cut it down to a single phase. So those will probably be removed, and then there's just a regular outlet which will also probably be removed because it goes right into that big breaker panel there. So over on this side we got the lubrication, like one shot I think they call it, where you just kind of hit it once in a while, whatever, and it'll actually pump the oil up into all the places on the knee, keep everything lubricated. Up top on this side I got the original Bridgeport work light. still works and everything. Also this rack, it's mounted right on the turret with hold all the different collets, and those are all the ones that he had. 11 different sizes there. There's all the accessories I got with the machine. Whole box of different cutters, different end mills and stuff. A lot of these are practically new. Aside from some of the rust and stuff they got, still have the little coating on them. A lot of these haven't even been used at all. These were like new. But I counted about 80 of these in total, plus a boring bar. Well, another, like a smaller one too. This one's actually the full kit. Regular Bridgeport brand. And the guy told me he had never used this. It's basically new other than the little surface rust, but it's pretty nice. Nice big cutter here. A couple tool holders. And then this is kind of cool. It's like a quick change. It's Falcon, they call it quick lock is what it is. But basically you put it up in there, the spindle, and these, you already have your tooling set up on each one of these depending on the size, and they actually kind of go in there and just twist lock pretty quick. Nice Jacob's chuck to go in there. 1/2 inch chuck there. So I thought that was pretty cool. Also just a regular Jacob's chuck if you want to put that in there. So again, it's just a 1/2 inch, but nice chuck. I'm gonna try to go through a lot of this stuff, same with the machine, and clean a lot of the surface rust off and see what I can polish up, make it look a lot better. But mechanically though, again, a lot of it works just fine. It's just a cosmetic thing. Different clamping. I'll probably go ahead and get like a full set of these, but I mean, this is something to use for now. Some T-nuts and bolts and other tool holders. And then he also had these, which is kind of crazy. These are some original manuals. This one is actually like the nicest one. And it didn't go for that machine because it's got a date of 81 on it, but I mean, it's perfect edition almost. An old safety manual. It would have came with it, I guess, originally. An MSDS booklet. A bunch of random paperwork that comes with your new machine when you get it. Some Bridgeport accessories. Which I don't know what you can actually get nowadays, but it's got basically all of them in there, I believe. The paperwork. This one is basically the same as this one, but I think this is the actual one that came with that machine. It's got the 73 date in it, so I think this was the one that came with it. And it's in really good shape too, other than a little bit of the cover, but that. And then this was a different one. This is actually the 1J with a step pulley and dated 62, so it's a little bit different. You can see right there, it's got the pulleys. But I'm sure most of the information is, I mean, for the rest of the machine is about the same, other than the head itself. But this was actually in the little cubby hole that's on the side of the machine when I went to look at it. So he kept this one like in the machine. These were all in a Ziploc baggie. I think he had it in his house or something. So that's why they stayed in pretty good condition. That's about it. I actually went online and picked up this book here, a guide to renovating the Bridgeport 2J. It looks like it should be a pretty good instructional book here. A lot of information, pictures, explanations of everything. It's how to tear down the whole thing. And I've actually found a website and a company that sells pretty much every nut, bolt, piece that you need for one of those machines right there. So I'm gonna be probably getting some things from them when I need them, like the little wipers and maybe a couple like odds and ends little parts that I need, but hopefully I don't have to do like total rebuild situation. I mean, maybe the head one day, but we'll see kind of once I get into it. Also got this vise right here with the machine. It's an old Kurt vise. It says made exclusively for Bridgeport. It's in pretty good condition. It's just the surface rust, kind of like everything else, but I think it'll clean up pretty good. It was funny, I was lugging this thing around and was kind of shocked at how much, like, I was struggling to lift it because it doesn't seem that big. And so I threw it up on my scale, and it's like, I want to say it's between 70 and 75 pounds just for this thing. I thought that was pretty crazy, but I guess it's what you need. I think that's going to do it for this one. I'm excited to get into this, get it all cleaned up and operational again, and really try my hand at milling. If you're interested, I'll probably post up some more pictures kind of as I go along, cleaning it up and start making cuts on it. They'll be on my Facebook page and Instagram, which is @GrindByDesign, and that'll be along with a lot of the other work and stuff that I do here in my shop. But that'll do it for this one, and I'll see you in the next one.